Marvel Studios should really be proud of where they're at right now. That now they're making an Eternals movie, and this just leads to a whole lot of things for the MCU, honestly. And then there's a synopsis, and the connection has been revealed of what's going to happen. Mitch, you probably know a little bit more about this since I think you've been into all of this. So, is there anything specific?
But the Eternal synopsis is exactly what you kind of think of it. It's like, oh, Eternals, deviants, Celestials, like throughout history, yada 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 yada. The interesting part is how it's being touted to connect and set things up. And of course, we know Eternals, the deviants connect to the Lemurians, who connect to Namor, so Namor can make an appearance eventually from this. The Celestials, you know, when they experimented on people, they also gave everyone else like the X gene, and that's how you got mutants. So you can set that up quite easily. Deviants are also like the original version of Skrulls, I'm pretty certain. So that comes from that. You know, that a lot of stuff, like cosmic stuff and just normal Earth located things, sprout from this one moment in like Marvel history. So
and one thing I did want to say, because we are a channel or a place that gives credit where credit's due, and a lot of these specifically this Eternals one is coming from the website MCU Cosmic. So we did
this is actually coming from the hashtag show.
Okay, from the hashtag show. Okay, so because I'm looking at the articles, and so
if you read it,
I did, but I didn't. Okay, there it is. I kind of sped through the beginning.
The first sentence.
I mostly went to the big synopsis thing. You know what I'm saying? But this, shout out to MCU Cosmic and the hashtag show. Both of the people putting in work, and we, when we can give credit and shout outs, we will definitely. So, Eternals. I think this is a great time. Eternals, man. This is like, I did not know we'd be at this point about 10 years ago when I saw Iron Man come out in theaters. Yeah, I don't think anybody did. It's
10
just
years ago, like laughable.
And I think the best part is, even someone like me, who isn't the biggest Marvel fan, I know a little bit of Marvel, and I've read some here and there, but I much prefer DC characters. I am super into all of the stuff that is coming out for the MCU, and even in the last 10 years, like, it's been such a thing. Even if you haven't been into Marvel the past 10 years, like comics, or even before that, I still think if you've been watching the movies, that you still get this kind of growth, like you're growing along with these characters in a way, and it just feels special, especially where we are now with Eternals, and Skrulls and Captain Marvel, stuff like that. So, Eternals is going to introduce so much stuff. Namor, we think his movie's going to happen?
I don't know about a movie. That's the thing with him.
Project. Let's say project. Do you think...
not even a project.
Okay.
I don't think Namor. Like, I love Namor as a character. Yeah. I think he's amazing. I don't think he warrants any of that, mainly because he works best as a villain and a supporting character. So make him the villain of Black Panther 2, make him a villain of something else. But sure, you can maybe go the anti-hero route like he is, but I wouldn't personally watch like a 2.5-hour movie of Namor.
I mean, I'm sure we'll watch it because we gotta talk about it, but it's not like one of those things.
But I wouldn't choose.
You have other characters in the priority list, right? Of who should want movies and TV shows. Namor is kind of down there, unless you ask Armin. He 100% would love to have Namor anywhere, really. Mostly because they're both like water characters, and he loves that.
We're getting a not Namor movie this year anyway.
Aquaman, yeah. Tristan, would you be super excited for it? Or is Namor one of the characters you're hoping gets a movie/TV show on Disney Play or something?
No, not really.
That's fine. I'm asking the question. It's fine.
Also, Namor as a show would be hella expensive.
Oh yeah, so mostly a movie, right?
That too.
Mostly we'd see him as a movie, but so not on your priority list. Okay, I got you. To a lot of people, maybe it isn't either. There's some other characters that I'm sure people want to see Nova before they want to see Namor, but I don't think anybody would be too disappointed if Namor had a movie and it was fun. It was good. I don't think a lot of people would be.
I mean, I don't think no one would be disappointed at that. Who would be upset with a bad movie?
Exactly. And also, who would be upset with kind of branching out into other aspects of the MCU universe? So, anything else about Eternals? Is there anything like just something that can lead to that you're excited about that hasn't been mentioned that maybe could happen You know?
They're apparently in Avengers 4
Ooh.
in some shape or form.
You know what though?
I don't know how valid that one is. Apparently, they're playing. There is a chance they're going to play some kind of role. I don't know how this movie's going to work because there is a ton of.
Listen, we said the same thing about Avengers: Infinity War, right? We said the same thing.
I mean, everyone said it since Avengers: Age of Ultron, when it's like, oh, how's Strucker and Ultron going to work? And there's so much stuff, and it's like, oh, it works.
They work. They just. I mean, here's another one sports reference out there for Chad to put in the checklist. There's, if anybody knows the NBA, I feel like the MCU are just the Spurs. Everybody thinks they're always gonna be back, which the Spurs are my team. They're in my city. Every year, some people are like, "How is this gonna work?" They're introducing different stuff, but they just keep doing it. They just have this thing.
Aren't you complaining about that recently?
Boy, oh, that my team that a player went down. Yeah, but we're still killing it. Everybody thought we were gonna suck, but we're doing really good right now. So even I mean, you can even put that into the MCU, right? If a character was to leave, like, oh, the MCU's not gonna be as good anymore, but they're still gonna make.
I mean, people
really
have
good
said that
movies.
Since they announced Infinity War, like, oh, I'm gonna leave after Infinity War is done because it's not gonna be as good because Iron Man no longer. But,
it's it's some people say it as a bad thing. I even dislike it when some say it about my team, but it's a system, man. The system works. You know, The system works. Don't go against the system. And the Marvel Studios is gonna continue to put out good movies, put out this good universe that we enjoy. And yeah, sure, there's some moments where you think you hope something else could happen, or you wish this could happen, stuff like that. But I think as an overall experience, it's just hard not to like them. You know, they're very likable, like universe and studio who just doing stuff for the fans. You know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff is great stuff if you're a fan, honestly. So also, I wanted to get to you one thing. So Celestials, to you, Mitch.
Celestials, yes.
Celestials. Going to be in Eternals most likely. We saw a little bit about them in
have to be
exactly. So we saw a little bit about them in Guardians, right? The first Guardians, and I don't think we've seen anything about them afterwards. Wouldn't it make sense to have them in Avengers 4 and kind of
what the Celestials? No,
too big. Okay, just putting it out there.
Sure,
just putting it out there.
If that toy packaging synopsis thing where it says like Thanos has to like is a greater foe bigger than Thanos or whatever. Celestials could be that. I think calling them a foe is a bit. Celestials are kind of like a neutral party in the universe.
I'm gonna assume it's one of those things where we see them in the movie, but they're not really gonna fight anybody. They're just gonna be in the movie, and we're gonna be able to get to know them a little bit. Where Thanos says, "I have to meet someone who's older than me," or something like that, and he goes to meet the Celestials.
I don't know. I'm still on the fence about having someone else in this movie apart from Thanos. I've said it makes sense on here a couple of times, I mean, because it kind of does, but it's like let's not take away from Thanos because this is the end of that arc of everything.
Yeah,
so focus on him. Celestials, I think you have to save them for the Eternals movie. They're too big in every sense.
Okay, so we'll put it at this: if they're not physically in the movie, do you think there will be a reference to them, or at least a piece of dialogue?
If the Eternals are in there, then there's no doubt going to be. They are a walking reference to the Eternals. So.
That's true.
I mean, Thanos is a walking reference to the Eternals. He's a deviant.
True. And this is kind of the stuff that we've been excited for a long time, me and you specifically, because we always, for the past year or couple years, we always talked about how MCU Cosmic, that just would be great to see in, like, whether it be TV shows or movies. And we're always mentioning MCU Cosmic, and now we're getting it. We're getting as close as we are ever to it.
It's the best part of Marvel.
Yeah, we're pretty much we're gonna be. People are saying this is the peak Marvel with Infinity War and Avengers 4. I think there's peak Marvel is yet to come, which is crazy to think of. Peak MCU is yet to come. MCU Cosmic will just do something that just will blow everybody's minds, in my opinion. So. I think that'd be cool. I've always think Celestials look cool because it's very similar to what was the DC version of it?
New Gods.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You say the similar DC version is Eternals came back because Kirby came back to Marvel and wanted the New Gods, so he did Eternals.
Exactly. So
chat saying they heard Eternals would take place like 100 million years ago. They take place when the dawn of man. That's when they're literally made. So
you know what I would hope for, which is probably not going to happen because it just recently happened in comics. BC Avengers. I would love for that to be a thing, but I don't see it happening really.
Just not yet. Give it a while. Give it a bit.
If that happens, oh man, I'm dead. I love BC Avengers, and I know we still haven't had the most of time with them in the comics, but it is definitely something that I would look forward to in live action. You know, they could go anywhere. I mean, I would love Hydra Cap, Secret Empire. I was thinking of the name, but because there's so many secrets in Marvel, right? It's like there's so many crises in
Marvel likes secrets.
There's so many crises. That's why our big combined comic was Secret Crisis or something like that. But also, Tristan, as we kind of get off this topic, is this are you also as excited as I sounded?
I mean, not
as much.
No, not as much as because I don't really know that much about the Eternals and
Makes
all
sense.
that.
Because you're more of a street level guy.
Yeah, but I'm sure as you watch the movie, you're gonna be like, "Whoa!"
Well, yeah, and I may read up on stuff, but currently, it's just some of the stuff is new to me that I'm gonna have to look up because
Well, just quickly, actually, another thing they mentioned in the article, it's apparently based on Jack Kirby's actual, I think it's 1979 when the Eternals came about, so it's actually based more on his run as opposed to the mid-2000 Gaiman and North run. Yeah. So if you're going to read Eternals, go read the Jack Kirby.
Yeah, because I think that's what my dad grew up on, and I'm because I remember when he was trying to get me into it, he's read anything that's with Jack Kirby. I'm like, who's that? And he showed me papers and stuff. He actually got an autograph with him. And it was
that
pretty.
That must be worth a fortune.
yeah, it is. He still won't even let me touch it.
I'm not surprised I wouldn't. No, that thing would be booby trapped. Absolute buggery. Just no.
Oh man, it's looking forward to what the MCU has to offer soon.